Are you struggling with hitting the ball too hard or too soft where you just tap the ball and play? Hello, my name is Coach Daniel. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get correct pace and how to get better pace on your shots so that you hit consistent shots without overhitting and without underhitting as well. So, the first thing what I want you to do is a couple drills real quick just so you get the idea of how you should feel when swinging your forehand or your backhand. The number one thing is the pace you should have is not stopping your racket and is not swinging as fast as you can. What I recommend is grabbing a ball with your dominant arm. Most of you are righties probably. Tossing it like this, keeping it back like this, and throwing it sideways like this. Throwing a ball sideways like that. With me finishing all the way over my shoulder like this, and with me, my arm being very loose, right? And what this creates is it creates a nice solid pace, and just try to get it barely over the net. See where these balls are going? Just get it barely over the net. This is the pace you want. This is the, I guess you could say, the speed of the racket you want and the fluidity of your racket you want. You don't want anything like this where you're trying to arm it, and you also don't want anything like this where you're stopping, right? You want it one fluid motion with a very fluid motion. Now for your backhand, what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab with both hands, face your backhand side, you're gonna start it down here, and you're gonna do the same motion, making sure both hands come all the way through, right? And just feel the natural motion of this. Don't force it like this. Don't force stop your hands, right? Because then you're gonna force stop your body. See, when I did that, my body stops, right? And we also don't want to be throwing as fast as we can, trying to get as far as we can go. We don't want that either. We want to mix between the two. And this is the correct pace you want, because a lot of times when we get nervous, we get tight, we tend to just tap the ball and play. Or if we're too aggressive, we tend to try to kill the ball and then we miss. Our goal is to get a correct pace that we can keep consistent with, that we're not going to miss with, but also it's aggressive enough that they can't attack us. So we want it, consistency is key, number one, but also the fluid motion so that you can add enough topspin, enough depth, and something you won't miss very often. And this is super important on every single shot you hit. Not only will this create a lot more fluid motion, a lot more natural, you won't feel as tight, but you'll be able to control the ball more, which means you can add more direction on it. You won't be forced to try to rip a forehand. It misses all the time. Or if you do get it in play, it comes straight back to the middle and the opponent just chips it back, right? We want to make sure that it's a nice fluid motion, and then we can add some direction on it. The motion is important though. And this will create a lot more aggressive shots without forcing your arm to force anything. And this is why this throwing motion is super important on the backhand and on the forehand side. This also goes with your serve and your volleys, but I'll show the volleys in a second. Your serve should not look like this, and it should not look like this. You should not do either of those, right? The serve should look something like this. Very fluid. I missed that one. I also missed that one. Don't copy those ones. No, this should be very fluid, just like that. Nice fluid motion. Nothing extremely fast, nothing a tap, right? We want to mix. And how we do that is we want to make sure, same exact motion. We're going to grab it with our dominant arm. I'm a lefty, so I'm going to show you guys as a righty. You're going to take it back and you're going to throw the ball just like you throw a baseball. Boom. And just keep a fluid motion. Again, don't force it like this. Don't try to throw as fast as you can. We also don't want to do this where we're throwing it super slow and stopping. We want to make sure we throw all the way through in a fluid motion. Try to get it over the net in the correct spot. Yep, and just try to throw it your best. We also don't want to do this, right? We also don't want to throw as fast as we can. We want a nice fluid motion. And this goes for everything. Serve, forehand, backhand, even volleys. What we want to do with the volleys is same thing. Nice, smooth tap. We don't want to create power and try to boom, like slam it all the time. And we also don't want to be too timid, like a super high tennis ball, right? And super tight on the grip. We want to make sure that if the ball wasn't coming to your racket kind of, the ball forces the motion, not your hand, right? So if I did this, boom, I didn't even move my racket, right? The ball moved it, boom. See, the ball moves it back, but my hand does not move it back. And the same thing on the backhand side. We want this on our volleys. Boom. Now, if it's an easy shot, yes, we can crush it. Yes, we can hit as hard as harder, not as hard as we want. But the goal is to just be that fluid, nice motion. And this is super important because a lot of times, us tennis players, when we play out points, we tend to get tight and just tap the ball and play. And then we get beat by a lot of these moon ballers, and we get beat by a lot of these aggressive tennis players who can attack our short balls. So what do we do? And then opposite try, and I've tried both of these, believe me. I've been a pusher for a long time, and then I switched to being super aggressive. I've tried both. With being super aggressive is you miss a lot more. You can get maybe 1, 2, 3 shots in, but if they're a good defensive tennis player, they're going to get to all those shots. It's very hard to hit winners, right? And then you're trying to rip as fast as you can. You're missing all these shots, right? The goal is to slow down the pace. So you have a 50% speed of your racket. That way you can add direction. That way you can add angle. And that way you can have a fluid motion. Now, mentally, it's easier said than done. You can practice this all the time, all day. And when you go into match play, you get tight again and you tap it and play. Or you get used to hitting it as hard as you can and you try to rip every single ball because you get impatient. Here's the two options. When you play a match, make sure you've practiced a lot of these throwing motions before, because you need a lot of practice of these throws before you can actually do match play. And when you do a match, try your best to imagine yourself throwing your racket sideways. Throwing your racket sideways, just like you were doing with the ball. So just like you were throwing the ball, you should be pretending like you're throwing your racket. But that exact speed, that exact pace, right? We don't want to go any faster with our racket, and we don't want to go any slower with our racket. So during match play, just keep that in mind, that you want a fluid, nice pace. Almost like you're throwing your racket, but not throwing your racket as fast as you can, and not stopping your racket like this, right? We want to make sure we throw. Now, for the people who are trying to hit aggressive winners and trying to hit amazing shots after 2 or 3 shots, try this pace out during a match. You'll win a lot more. I promise you that, most likely. Maybe not, but most likely. You'll win a lot more. But just realize your points will probably go on for 4 or 5, 6 rallies maybe. But when you get a short ball, keep the same motion. Don't speed up your racket. Don't force anything. But what I want you to do, once you get a shorter ball and you're more of an aggressive tennis player, don't rip a ball like this, because you're going to miss. But instead, keep that fluid motion, but go for direction. You'll notice you hit a lot more winners with direction than power. Because if you try to go as fast as you can and it even makes it in the middle, they're going to get it back. But if you can hit an angle like that, who's going to be able to get that? If they're here and you hit straight to the middle, they can tap it back. If you hit an angle there, what are they going to do? They have to run all the way through. And if they do get it back, most likely it's an easy lob. You can come to the net after that shot, right? But the purpose is direction. But you also don't want to do this when you be aggressive, right? You don't want to just tap the ball and play. You want the fluid motion, just like you're throwing your racket. The same speed. Don't change the speed. Same speed, but just with that direction, and then follow it to the net and finish the point with a volley. That's the most important thing. And then again, same with the serve, same with the volley, same with every other shot, including the tweener. You don't want to force the tweener as fast as you can, because you'll hurt yourself like that. Or you don't want to just tap the tweener out. You want to make sure it's a good speed, right? Same with any shot in tennis. This is the slice, any shot. We want to make sure we throw the racket. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this next video. I'll see you there.